All right, let's get going. So I'm Emma, I'm a physio from Elevate Physio and Performance, and today I just wanted to run through a short 15-minute stretch and mobility session with you all. Quick disclaimer, if you have any injuries, if anything hurts when you do it, please don't do it, okay? Because this is obviously not an individualized program and I don't want to aggravate anyone's pain. So if you're not sure whether to do something, if it hurts, don't do it. You can type in the comments if you want, and I can try and see if I can read, if you're not sure whether to do something, if something's not clear, I'll come kind of have a peer and see if I can help you there and then. But if it's not clear and you're not sure, just don't do it, okay? So today's kind of just all about teaching you the principles of stretching. It's not a yoga class. This is because I've been speaking to loads of people that are sitting at home because they're working from home, so they're in a new environment, they're sitting kind of over their kids and they're in what's called like a C shape. So today is literally about kind of just opening you up, getting everything moving. Like I said, it's going to be quite short, 15 minutes, and then I'll leave the session open at the end if you've got any injury or rehab questions, and I can try and answer them for you. So we're going to start at the neck and we're going to move down our body. So we just think about our neck first of all and just standing nice and tall, shoulders back, and do some rotation. So just literally looking over one shoulder and then the other. And just keep going, looking over your shoulders just to get the neck moving. So sometimes the pain that we get when we sit still in one position is what's called an ischemic pain. And this is basically that the tissues aren't getting the oxygen to them. So what we're trying to do here is we're just trying to increase the blood flow. Just keep rolling your neck, increase the blood flow, and then the blood will take the oxygen to the joints, the muscles, the tissues, and make it all feel a bit better. Okay, can you now bring your ear down to your shoulder a few times? Now this can sometimes be a bit of a painful movement for some people, so if it hurts, don't do it. Just a few, not too many. Okay, and then we're going to roll our shoulders back. Cool, so just keep rolling your shoulders back. Again, like I said, we're opening up our chest because if you've been sitting hunched like this is just going to open everything up for you. Okay, so this is more of a dynamic type stretch. And now we're going to do some static stretching around the neck. So if you take your left ear down towards your left shoulder, and we're going to stretch this muscle, which is your upper fibers of trapezius. Take your left hand and pull your neck down towards your left shoulder. Now the ideal amount of time to hold a stretch for is about 20 seconds, and you want to repeat it 2 to 4 times. So for today we might do 2 repetitions of some, but maybe just one of the other, just because of time is a bit limited. And then we're going to go right ear to right shoulder, right hand goes at the top of your head, and pull your right ear towards your right shoulder. Just remember, if this hurts, if you get any pain, don't do it. Now when you're stretching, you want to be kind of going to the point of sensation. So you're feeling a stretch, but you're not feeling a pain. Okay? Good, and relax. And then we're going to look at your armpit. So if you look at your left armpit, and again, left arm, pulls your neck towards your armpit. And what you're doing now is you're stretching a muscle called your levator scapula, which goes here. And this is a really important postural muscle. And again, if those of you are working at home like this, that muscle is going to feel really tight. So at the armpit, hold it for a few more seconds. Good, and then release, come up to the middle. And let's look towards your right armpit. Right arm goes onto your head and pulls it down. So I'm trying to kind of teach you these principles so that you're going to remember them, and then hopefully you can, do these stretches throughout the day. Ideally, you shouldn't be sitting for longer than 20 minutes at a time. So if any of these stretches work for you, stand up and do them. Okay, relax that stretch. All right, so we kind of work the neck a little bit. Let's just do a few stretches around the shoulder. So we're going to open up the shoulder, so we're going to stretch our pecs. If you have a door frame, put your arm on the door frame. I'm going to use just this bike thing here, and I'm going to put my arm on this, and I'm just going to open up my pecs. So I'm twisting away, feeling the stretch through my pecs, which is here, and the front of the shoulder. Holding that for a few more seconds. Good, and relax. And then the other side. Okay. So just opening it up. If you've got a door frame, you want to be in that position with the door there, opening up so you feel the stretch in the front of the shoulder. A really nice stretch again if you've been like this all day. Okay, good. And then relax. And then onto the left arm, let's just put your arm behind, and with your right arm you're going to push that left elbow back. Now here we're stretching through your triceps, and you might feel a bit of a stretch lower down. So it's just a nice stretch again to open everything up. Are you all okay? Tell me if you're not. Good. And swap arms. So with your right one. Good. Remember, we're holding this for about 20 seconds on each side. Good. And relax. Now we're going to stretch the back of the shoulder. Okay, so with your left arm, you're going to put your hand over your shoulder, and with your right arm, you're going to push your elbow across. Now what this does is it stretches the posterior capsule and the posterior rotator cuff, which can get quite tight, and sometimes if you're tight there, that can give you some shoulder pain. So it's just a nice stretch to kind of get into the habit of doing. Now, some people, this hurts them in the front of the shoulder. So if it hurts you in the front, I wouldn't do it. But if it feels comfortable, it's a nice stretch. Good. Another few seconds, and then swap sides. Lovely. Good stuff. Good. So we're going to hold it for about 20 seconds. So another 5. Good, and relax. Cool. So just roll off those shoulders. We've done some static stretches around those shoulders. We're now going to get onto the floor, and we're going to stretch out your thoracic spine. Now the thoracic spine is an area of the body that really does get hit. Those people that work from home and those people that do a lot of sitting. So I'm just going to try and tilt this camera a bit down. Okay, so we're going to start off in all fours. Okay, I'll go sideways so you can see. And you're going to do a cat and a dog stretch, which you might have done before in yoga classes or Pilates classes. Now what I want you to do is I want you to be moving this bit of your upper spine and not your lower spine. So some people can kind of use their lower spine too much. Try and move their upper bit. So you're going to go up and down, up and down. Keep going. And you're aiming for, just do about 10 repetitions of this. Good, keep going. Good. And then you're gonna relax and you're gonna take it into the prayer stretch. So the child's pose in yoga where you reach forward. Good. Okay, and hold that stretch. So you're gonna hold it here. Good, and then what you can do, if you want to feel it more on the right side, you take your right arm and you put it over your left arm and you stretch away. So you should feel the stretch down the right side of your body, and hold that for 20 seconds. Good. And just remember, don't push these things too hard, okay? So only take them to that point where you feel the muscle stretch. You don't want to be making anything hurt. And then do the same thing on the left. So you're going to put your left arm over your right arm and you're going to stretch away so you feel the stretch through that bit. So really stretching away. A few more seconds. And then I'm excited to show you my favourite stretch. Everyone okay? Good. Okay, so I'm going to show you now the thread the needle stretch, okay? So for me, this is one of my favourite thoracic spine dynamic stretches. And when I'm sitting at a desk, this is the one that I stand up and I do. So, on all fours, I'll show you from a few different angles, but on all fours, with your right arm, you're going to put it under, reaching across, and then you're going to lift up. Okay, so I'll show you that from the front. So with your right arm, you're going to go under and then you're going to lift up. So we're going to go under and then up. Good. And follow your eyes, use your eyes to look at the hand. So you look at your right hand as it goes under and then up. So you get a kind of whole rotation stretch through your spine. So about 3 to 5 repetitions on one side, and then do the left. So with the left, we're going to go under and up. And again, you're going to go under and up. Good, keep going. Everyone okay? Good. Keep threading the needle, about 5 repetitions. Good. All right, now let's take it down to the lumbar spine. So this is your lower back. So you're going to lie on your back and you're just going to do some knee rolls. So take your knees side to side, okay? And just do a few side to side knee rolls. And then you're going to take one knee and put it over your other knee to stretch your lower back. And this also gets into your glutes, your bottom muscles. So really feel that twisty stretch. Good, everyone okay? Yep. And you want to hold this, remember, for 20 seconds. And then you're going to repeat on the other side. So right knee over left. Good, hold it there for 20 seconds. Good. And relax. Okay, so that's your lower spine. And just remember as well, there's loads of different stretches you can do. And I've just picked a few of my favourites to demonstrate to you. But all these muscles, there's so much choice. Okay, let's stretch our hamstrings. So hamstrings is the muscle at the back of the thigh. Again, so many different ways, but whilst we're on the floor, let's bring one foot to the knee, and then we're going to bend forwards to stretch the back of the leg. Now, what a lot of people do wrong here, as they're stretching, is they stretch from their back, and you get this C shape here. To get a better stretch, keep your back straight and hinge from your hips. So bend forwards from your hip and you should feel a better stretch down that hamstring. And you're going to hold that for 20 seconds. So, you know, if you're really stretchy, you might be able to touch your toes. You know, the yoga people go all the way down. That's not quite me. But some of you won't be anywhere near. But it doesn't matter because it's about what's normal for you. So swap legs. Good, and remember to hinge from your hip, so don't curl down, there's not much point in doing that. We're going to hinge forwards from our hips and feel the stretch down the back of the thigh. Good, okay, and relax. And then you can do a stretch to open up your hips, so an adductor stretch, putting your feet together and just let your knees fall down. You can push them if you want, you can use your elbows. Just sit up nice and tall, so switch your core on and just feel that nice stretch through your adductor muscles. Again, if you've been sitting all day, the fronts of your hips get really tight. So your adductors, your hip flexors, your quads, so we just need to stretch those out. So we'll hold this for another 10 seconds. Good. And again, you don't really want to curl into this. It's much nicer to keep your back nice and straight, switch your core on, and hinge forward into it from your hips. Okay, now we're going to go into a lunge position and stretch those hip flexors. So you can do this exercise like so with your back knee on the floor, or you can do it in a lunge position, whatever you prefer. So you're going to kind of go into this lunge stretch, feel the stretch down the front of your thigh, and with your right arm, because it's my right leg that's back, I'm going to lean away from my right leg. So what I'm doing there is I'm getting a stretch through my psoas muscle. Now your psoas muscle is not only a hip flexor, but it attaches through your pelvis and onto your lumbar spine. So sometimes if you have lower back difficulties, it can be because your psoas is being a bit tight and restricted. So this can be a really nice stretch. So look how you can do it with your knee on the floor as well, like this. Okay, and swap sides. So I'll show you with my left knee on the floor. Good. And lean away and hold that for 20 seconds. Good, keep holding. Keep holding. Good. Well done. All right, and then we're going to stretch our quads. That's these muscles. So standing up, you're going to take your ankle and bring your foot to your bottom. Now what you want to do, you want to keep your knees together, okay? So don't let your knees kind of do that. You want knees together. If you need to hold on to something for balance, then do, okay? Good, 20 seconds. And other leg. Good, and I see we've reached our 15 minutes, which is perfect timing because this was the last stretch I was going to show you. Good, and relax. Now, if you're interested in my take on stretching, check out my blog, which is on my website, which is www.elevatephysio.org. And I've got a blog entry called To Stretch or Not to Stretch, because actually, and this is going to be funny because I'm doing a stretch session, sometimes you shouldn't be stretching things, okay? So that's when I see injured people. But today's session was about kind of getting things moving. And I hope you understand, and I hope you've taken on board some of the stretching principles, that if you're sitting around in this position all day, all of what we've just done is going to open you up into the opposite position and going to increase the blood flow to the area and take all the nutrients and the oxygens to your bones, joints, muscles, ligaments. Now, if you've got a foam roller, now is the time where I would do some foam rolling as well. And if you're not sure about that, I'll do a foam rolling session in the future. So the session is formally over, but if you've got any questions, like I said about your rehab, if you are injured, if you want any advice, please put them in the text and I'll answer your questions. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I might see you again at some point, so thank you. Good, I'm pleased you've all enjoyed it. Good. No problems, obviously. Good, I'm pleased you've enjoyed it, everyone. Good, thank you. Thank you. And again, I hope you realise, by the way, that stretching, it doesn't have to take long. That was why I made this 15 minutes, so you can see how quickly you can just have a really quick move. So if you're sitting at your desk, just you know, get up every 20 minutes and choose one of those stretches and do it. So someone, Ben, my brother, has asked, how can he stretch his lats? There are lots and lots of stretches for your lats. I will demonstrate one such stretch. If you have a chair, okay, and you're going to put your arms on the chair and you're going to sink down, keeping your elbows on the chair, and drop your spine down towards the floor. And you should feel that stretch nicely into that area. Hope that has answered your question, Ben. Good. So on Facebook, Lisa says she's got lots of tension in her upper back, causing pain and tingling down the arm. Any suggestions? Again, if you've got tingling and pain down your arm, I don't want to be too specific here because, you know, we don't know what that's coming from. Assuming that is coming from tension in your upper back, so your thoracic spine, I would try regular foam rolling of your thoracic spine area. I would do lots of that thread the needle. I would do thoracic extension as well, so over a chair, so sitting down and stretching back over it. But just being aware that potentially the tingling, you know, where's the tingling coming from? So try and get to the bottom of that first so that you can treat that in the correct way, because is it coming from your neck maybe? Hope that helps. Sorry, it's a bit vague. Don't want to be too specific because I don't want to make your pain worse if it's wrong. Ankle stretches, we'll do that another time. That's a whole nother ball game, especially if you fractured your ankle. You definitely don't want to be learning any stretches on a Facebook or Instagram group. Good. But I was going to, for anyone else still there, I will show you the calf stretch, because that was going to be something if we had more time. So talking about ankles, knee planted, you're going to lean forward, keep the back knee straight, and you bend forwards and you feel the stretch through the back of the calf. If you want to stretch the upper calf muscle, the soleus, you bring that back leg closer and you sit down into the stretch. And then you should feel that higher up the calf. So they are two calf stretches that if you have got a broken ankle, you will be doing at a later stage down your rehab, but definitely not yet. Good, and I hope that, you know, everyone feels just a bit looser, basically. So if there's no more questions, I'm gonna end the session. So if you've got any questions, please shoot them out last couple minutes. If you like the session, let me know so that I can do it again. I can do similar stuff. If you've got any specific things you want to do through a live session, please just ask. Because there's lots we can do really nice and quick. It doesn't have to take time. Yes, I am offering private consultations at this moment. Unfortunately, obviously, we're not allowed to see people face to face, but we are doing Skype sessions. So we're doing virtual consultations like this. And actually, sometimes we can get a lot out of it. So it was new for all of us at the beginning, but we're getting better. And there's some conditions where the virtual consultations, we're having some really good outcomes. So if anyone does need physio, please do direct them towards us at Elevate Physio and Performance, because yeah, it's obviously better than nothing. And you know, I'm worried about all the people that are sitting at home at the moment who aren't going to physio, and the backlog of musculoskeletal injuries and the burden that is going to be to the NHS when life resumes. So yes, please do reach out to physios, and I'm here if anyone needs me, so please pass on my details. What do you do when it's not locked down? So Elevate Physio and Performance is based in Finchley Central. We're in the Mighty Fit Gym, where there's some great trainers working there as well. I work some days at Elevate, and I also work with the GB Olympic team on the other days. So I've got lots of experience in sports injuries, so if you do have any specific sports injuries that you need help with, let me help you, please. Okay, I'm going to turn you guys off now. Thanks so much for coming, and I really hope you have a nice evening. Good night. I'll do this one first.